Hello, class 7. Good morning. Now we are going to discuss the first chapter of your syllabus. And the name of your first chapter is Nutrition in Plant. Here in this chapter we are going to discuss about the mode of nutrition. What are those modes? And here in this chapter we are also discussing about the photosynthesis. So something which is very important to know and to discuss about this chapter is how these plants prepare their food. Now we are going to discuss the chapter. Here in this chapter we are going to discuss food is the most basic and important need for all the living being, and we all are agree on that food needs is one of the basic need which everyone demands for it. Now we all know what is nutrient. Nutrient is nothing but the component or the connectively combination of all the minerals, carbohydrate, proteins, fiber, fat, vitamin, etc. All of them come together and makes a nutrient. The process of utilizing the food to obtain energy is known as nutrition for the growth and development of the human being. So now we are going to discuss the topic, that is the mode of nutrition. Mode of nutrition divide it into two parts. One is the autotrophic mode of nutrition and second is the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Autotrophic mode of nutrition. What this mean? This means the plant derive their own food by its own manner. Simple inorganic substance. Understood? Simple inorganic substance uses by them to produce their own food. They are known as autotrophic mode of nutrition. The plant which produces their own food, they are known as autotrophs because they are producing their food in an environment where these simple organic substances are present. Second, heterotrophic mode of nutrition. In this heterotrophic mode of nutrition, plant has to depend upon other to prepare their own food. Likewise, they have to depend on other for make their own food, and in that manner they need to prepare their food with the help of other. How they can do that? They can do that it will be with the help of another one. Another one means another plant. They are dependent upon something else, not upon their own. So they are preparing their food, but they cannot prepare their food by their its own means. Now they have to depend upon another. They are known as heterotrophic modes of nutrition, and such organisms which depend upon other for making their own food are known as heterotrophs. Now question arises, who comes under this head? So the question is very simple and the answer is also very clear, that animals and human beings do not make their own food. They have to depend upon other for making their own food, and in that case if they are dependent on another, in that case we can easily say they all come under the head of heterotrophs. Heterotrophs consume their food depending upon others. In that manner we can say that they are also called as the consumers. Why they are consumers? Because they have to depend upon other for preparing their foods. Now we are going to discuss next topic, that is the photosynthesis. What is this photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is nothing but food making process. Photosynthesis means food making process. Here plant preparing their food, and how they are preparing food, we all aware about that. Plant making preparing their food with the help of sunlight, with the help of soil, and with the help of chlorophyll. So chlorophyll absorb the sunlight and it will do the process through which plant prepare their food, and whatever the food prepared by the plant, it should be transported to the other part of the body, and the extra amount which can be generated through all this process, it should be circulated in the plant, and the remaining one should be released out. So what will be the remaining one? Here we will discuss that in the process of photosynthesis, carbon dioxide will involve with water. So CO2 inhaled by the plant with the help of stomata. Stomata are the tiny pores which is present in the leaves, which absorb what? The carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide will react with water, and when it reacts with water and with the sunlight also, in the process of chlorophyll, we have seen that result outcome which come, it is your carbohydrate and oxygen. Oxygen is something which could be released in the atmosphere, and carbohydrate is the part which sustain in the plant, and it should be transported to the other part of the plant, because this is the food which is prepared by the plant with the help of photosynthesis. So green plant use CO2 present in the air, green plant use CO2 present in the air and water present in the soil, and with the help of these water and CO2 they prepare the carbohydrate and oxygen released, and this carbohydrate should be contained in itself and transported to the another. Again, I have discussed right now the word stomata. What do you understand about stomata? Stomata is something, a tiny pores which is present in the leaves. These leaves is surrounded by the bean shaped structure, and they are also called as a guard cell, and they are present in the leaves. Why they are present in the leaves? Because they are the main source through which the leaves can absorb carbon dioxide. So CO2 will be absorbed and oxygen will be released, and carbohydrate should be in the plant, and it should be transported to the remaining part of the plant. Photosynthesis is not only take place in the green only leaves, it should be taken place in the other part of the plant, that is the stem also. One thing is also very clear to all of you, that what is autotrophs and what is heterotroph. Autotrophs are the mode of nutrition in which plant prepare their own food by its own while using simple inorganic substance, and second one is heterotrophic mode of nutrition, in which plant has to depend upon other. They have to depend upon other. Now what we are discussing here, photosynthesis plant. You have seen several plants which have green leaf, and rather than green leaf also. So if there is a green leaf, we are aware that they can be made up of chlorophyll. But if they are of different color, like we have seen several decorative plants, their leaves are red, green, brown, violet, etc. They are also a part of the chlorophyll, but here the brown and red color dominate the other. That's why their leaf will be vibrant, and we have seen the other colors of red, green, violet, etc. Now we are going to discuss the next topic, photosynthesis in the plant present in all types of organisms. So photosynthesis is over. Photosynthesis in algae, we have seen algae also. Algae are green slimy patches near the ponds and near the stagnant water bodies. Everyone has seen that, no? The color is green, so the color is green due to the effect of chlorophyll, as we have discussed earlier, and its color is green due to the effect of chlorophyll, and they also make their own food with the help of photosynthesis. So as I have discussed, photosynthesis is the mean through which the plant prepare their own food. Next topic is factor affecting photosynthesis. What are those factors those affecting photosynthesis? They can be also divided into two parts: A, external factors, and B, internal factors. External factors are those factors which can be affect externally from the outside. So that's our intensity of light, what is the composition of light, concentration of CO2, carbon dioxide concentration, and temperature and water. These are the four elements which can play very vital role for the photosynthesis while affecting it. Another one is your internal parts. Factors which affect the photosynthesis are the chlorophyll content and the accumulation of the photosynthesis product. If the photosynthesis product is not working properly, in that case also we will see that it will hamper the growth, and chlorophyll content if also not present in a proper manner, in that case also we will see this photosynthesis process will not be done in proper manner. And if the photosynthesis process is not done in a proper manner, we will find that plant is unable to make its own food, and if it is unable to produce its own food, in that case the plant will die for the further process. So here photosynthesis is the process. It helps to maintain the ecological balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide. As we have discussed, carbon dioxide inhaled by the plant, and it exhale out the oxygen like human being also. So this balance should be proper. It should be in the manner of as it is. It should be present in the plant. One thing which is very clear, sunlight is one of the main source of energy on the earth, and without sunlight this photosynthesis process cannot be done. So chlorophyll, sunlight, water and carbon dioxide, these are the component which is used by a plant for producing its own food. Now we are going to discuss the next topic, that is the synthesis of plant food other than carbohydrate. Carbohydrate. Few minutes earlier I have discussed, when there is a process of carbon dioxide with a reaction with water, what we have seen, its outcome will be carbohydrate and oxygen. Oxygen is something which is released into the atmosphere, and carbohydrate, it is in the plant itself to circulate another part of the body, another part of the plant body. In that case, we are discussing here the synthesis of the carbohydrate. So plant also need another product except carbohydrate, that is protein and fats. So they have to depend upon protein, they have to depend upon all those items also. So protein are nitrogenous substance which they have to arrange it from the atmosphere. We all are aware, and we have discussed this in our last class, in class 6 also. The this our environment, our atmosphere is present with nitrogen, oxygen, CO2, and we have find this nitrogen is in abundance in the atmosphere, but plants are not able to grab those nitrogen content from the atmosphere. They have to depend upon other for their for getting those substance. So these are they have to depend upon others, and those are called as the helping one who provide these nitrogen to the plant. So one of the bacteria which help plant to get this nitrogenous substance is our rhizobium, right? Rhizobium is the bacteria which help plant to arrange or to absorb the soluble which is present in the atmosphere. So the nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere, the rhizobium convert them into a soluble form, and this soluble form from the soil or water get absorbed by the plant in itself, and with the help of those absorbed minerals, with the help of rhizobium, it will be converted into a protein, and this protein should be reaches to the plant, and plant will get their fat and protein with the help of these rhizobium. So rhizobium will play a very vital role here for the plant to get another food product like carbohydrate, that is our protein and fat. Again, we have discussed about you all aware about the term nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Every fertilizer needed land need to be fertilized again and again and again. Several times it should be fertilized by the farmer. When farmers fertilize that land, they directly consume the fertile content of those land continuously. So slowly and gradually we will see the content which is present in the soil is decreasing day by day, and if it is decreasing day by day, we have to provide the soil on these three nutrient, and these three nutrient when provided to the soil as a fertilizer, and we can enhance the fertility of that soil by its own. Now we are going to discuss the last head of the mode of nutrition. First of all, we have discussed the two modes, autotrophic and the heterotrophic. Now we are going to discuss about the other modes of nutrition in plant. What are those other modes? Here plant cannot produce their own food by its own, so they have to depend upon other. If they are going to depend upon other, it means they are heterotroph. Now when they are heterotroph, they have to depend upon other, and here in that case we have seen four heads. First one is saprotrophs, second one is parasites, third one is insectivorous, and fourth one is symbiotant. These four heads are discussed as the other modes of nutrition. What are those saprotrophs? Saprotrophs derive their food on dead and decaying organic matter, and they release secreted juice on those, and when they release this secreted juice, they through that they can convert it into a solution, and these solutions should be dissolved in the soil, and when it is dissolved, it is get to the soil. Second one is the Parasite are those who have to depend upon other. Now parasite is divided into two categories: partial parasites and the total parasites. So partial parasites are those who can prepare their food by its own, and another one is the total parasite. The good example of total parasite is Amarved, that is Cuscuta. Cuscuta is one of the best example for the total parasite. Here this plant Cuscuta will not going to arrange any of the food items by its own. They have to depend, that plant has to depend upon another. And partial parasites, they have to depend upon the other continent. That plant produces its own food by its own, but they have to depend upon other content, for other content like water and minerals, to the another plant, and they comes under the head of the parasites. And these are the called as the partial parasites. The name of that parasite is mysteno, and the parasite which provide totally depend upon that, it's called as a Amarben, that is Cuscuta. And likewise in saprophyte types we can discuss few fungus like we have seen on leather clothes, we have seen on a rainy day into a pickles also. The pickles will be get white color patches. These white color patches are called as the saprophytes. Saprotrops we have discussed, parasites we have discussed. Now we are going to discuss about the insectivorous. As we have discussed a few minutes earlier, our plant has to depend for the nitrogenous content to the bacteria and other organisms. Here also few plants prepare their food by its own, but some content they cannot prepare. For those content they have to depend upon the insect, and if they are depend upon the insect for those content, they are called as an insectivorous plant. And why they are depending upon those? Because they need nitrogenous substance, and that nitrogenous substance should be arranged by these plants with the help of this insect, and these insects should be catches by these plant, digested by these plant, and these digestive system work in those plant accordingly, and with the help of that they can be arranged, they can generate the nitrogenous substance, and these nitrogenous substance should be used by the plant itself for their total growth. Now last one is our symbiotic is the relationship between two organisms. This is very best, this is very good other modes of nutrition as per my view. Why? Because these two organisms depend upon each other. Good example is lichen. Why? Here one content is the alga and the other content is the fungus. Both are come together for mutual urination. They come together for the mutual relation. Why they come together? Because of this symbiosis relationship. Because when they come together to each other, they can provide help to each other, they can provide support to each other, and if they can provide support to each other, with the help of that, both the plant can survive in a better manner. If they don't come together, in that case both may suffer accordingly in this case. And if they may suffer, they have to be difficult. It become difficult for these both plants to survive properly. Here in that matter we can see in the symbiosis, both are depending upon each other. Lichen means an alga is an autotroph, and our fungus is a saprotroph. Alga is an autotroph. It provide organic food to the fungus, and fungus provide water and other minerals to the alga, and both are helping each other to grow. So depend on each other for the nutrition need. It will provide them to work properly, and it will provide these plants to survive for a longer duration of time, and it can be done easily when these plants come together. Now I'm going to revise my chapter. First topic what we have covered is the autotroph. Second topic what we have covered is the heterotroph. Third what we have covered, photosynthesis, food making process. Fourth what we have covered is the factors which affecting the photosynthesis. Then we have discussed about the other mode of nutrition. In other mode of nutrition we have discussed saprotrophs, we have discussed parasite, we have discussed insectivorous, and then we have discussed about the symbiotant. Now the last topic of this chapter is the replenishment of the nutrient in soil. As I have discussed earlier while discussing a topic, that plant will be cultivated on a land, and when the plant are cultivated on the land, it consume the nutrition value which is present on the soil. So soil needs to be cultivated, soil need to be again regain its fertility. And how it can be regain its fertility? It can be regain its fertility with the help of NPK, that is nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus and potassium. In that manner the soil's nutrient value can be enhanced. So farmers need to be again cultivated both into the farmer need to be cultivate all those things into the farmland. So if he can do that, the fertility of that soil will be enhanced. But plants are very good in conditions. They have a mind also. We can say they take the help of other products like rhizobium. As I discussed earlier, rhizobium will help plant to grow, and it will provide the nutrition value which is present in the soil. As I had discussed, nitrogenous substance is not present in the soil, so these roots have some tiny pores from where it connect minerals and water from the soil. Likewise, this rhizobium is a bacteria which take the help of the roots, and it survive there. It get food and center under the roots, and it provide the nutrition value to the plant. So plant will grow with the help of rhizobium, and rhizobium will get the shelter and under the heads of these roots. So both are getting the benefits, and if they are getting the benefits, they are survive for the longer duration of time. So now from my side, over. This chapter is over. If you find any difficulty, please call on my number.